This video here pertains to the sort order of purchase orders and sales orders. And you can see right here, as we create a sales order and purchase order, the line items automatically go in sequence. And for example, you can see the CP91 we added in, and right below it we add a GST note, and this note pertains to the line item that's right above it. So several times on a purchase order, not so much on a sales order, we have it a few times, but a lot of times on a purchase order, it might have 5 or 6 different notes pertaining to the items that are on that purchase order. So it's very important when we're receiving it in that that note pertains to that item. That way the warehouse knows to pull that one for this transfer and transfer it to Dallas. Or if it's for a particular sales order, it's going to say right below it. So the purchase order looks right here, but if you go up to print it, and I've already printed it to save time here, printed it in the default purchase order, everything comes out right. You can see here, you can see the item codes CP91, the GST note 29702, 703, and 704. Everything's correct over here on the default purchase order. But if you go to the modified purchase order, pull it over so you can see it. You can see you got the CP91, the note, and it's all in a different kind of order. I tried to see if it was by sorting by part number, UPC, something, and I really couldn't find anything that it was sorting by. Fortunately, in this example, the CP91, the note did appear below it, but there's other POs that I've already seen that printed, and if you had 4 or 5 notes, the line items are listed first and then all the notes down the bottom. So the notes are basically irrelevant to this up here. We'd still have to come back to the computer, open it up, figure out who it belongs to, and go from there. Before the update, these were populating in sequence order. It was fine. The update overwrote all those customizations. But anyway, now we're back to having issues. We can still create purchase orders, but we can't send these to the manufacturers until we get this rectified and get it resolved so we can move forward with that. Now on the sales order side, it's basically doing the same thing. And I brought up the sales order here, and this is a real simple one. Let me bring it up so you can see the whole thing. Okay, this sales order here, if you scroll all the way to the top, you have a GST note. It says all the shirts will receive EMT patches, and it goes in. Now this is just as an example of, the sequence orders. This isn't necessarily saying, for this shirt or whatever, but I just want you to see that, sometimes we do have an item where it might be this shirt right here, and there's a note below it that has the custom alterations or who it goes to or something that pertains to that line item. But in this example, if you go to the default, you have your GST note and then all the numbers, and they are in sequential order according to the purchase order. And again, you can come over here and see the sort order right over here, and everything is correct. Eventually, I'd like to see the sort orders moved over here so we can make sure we can sort by it, make sure everything is in chronological order of the way that we created the PO. So you can see that the default was correct, but if you look at the customized one, you'll see the note is down here at the very bottom. And if you compare these to the purchase order, you see there's really nothing in order. This first one here, I don't even know where that one's at. This one's up there, but anyway, you can kind of see the order is here and that it's not in order over here. Originally I thought it was sorting by UPCs, but I can see now that it's not. But for some reason, both the purchase orders and the sales orders are not printing in according to the line item or the line item sort order, and we need to get that corrected. Otherwise, we're going to have issues with the wrong things getting altered the wrong way and stuff like that. So it's a pretty important piece of customization we need to see if we can't get back as soon as possible. Also, I shouldn't have closed that down, but if you look at the sales order, while that's coming up, and look at the purchase order. The purchase order. If you look at your details right here, all this is correct. The Sanmar, the PO box that we ship it to, in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is the county in the United States. These can come off of there. We don't really need those. Just same thing over here. It says Dallas County, United States. We don't really, in our address format, we don't care what county it is, and we don't care that it's in the United States. 99.9% of the stuff that's irrelevant for us. So basically, if we can get rid of these two lines down here, I know we had some customizations done before when we accidentally removed the state out of there, but mainly we just need the county taken out and the United States of America taken out. Same thing up here with our address header. No one cares that it's Dallas County and it's United States of America. All they care about is it's our street address, the city, state, zip, and our phone numbers. Even our tax ID number needs to come off of there. I don't want those going to the wrong hands. Our suppliers already have that information if they need it. So that needs to come out of there. Same thing on the sales order. If I bring up the sales order here, and I'll go to the customized one since that's already been modified. And it takes just a few minutes. Okay, I don't want the packing list. All I care about is the customized sales order, since that's all we're using. Print preview, hit OK. And you can see right here, Fort Worth Fire Department, 2900 West Bolt Street. You can see there's something missing in here. These kind of need to be put together. Not sure what's going on, but the address kind of needs to be all together here. It looks like there's two blank line items. I think we deleted something, but we need to push these back up, because when we mail this to our customer, this is what you see in the envelope window of the bill that we send out to the post office. And they're pretty particular about the addresses. And this is an example I mentioned earlier. You can see where it says Fort Worth, but it's missing the state. We need the state in there. If it's Texas, they automatically assume it's here in Texas, but a lot of times we send it out to customers throughout the rest of the United States, and it's going to get returned to us eventually unless we have the state on there. I know the post office looks things up by the address, but they're going to tell us that that information is to be in there. The phone number does not need to be in the bill too. Same thing up here with our address. If we can move the county out of there and get rid of this United States of America and just have the street, city, state, zip, and the phone numbers, and get rid of this tax ID number. And also on the sales order side, since I'm here, one of the issues that we're really having issues with is not having the sales rep's name on the document itself. And when you look at the sales orders, it basically goes by the last person that touched the sales order. Alright, let me close this down. And if you look at the audit trail, you can see this is a Kelly sales order. This is the only way we can tell whose sales order it is. There's nothing really on the sales order itself that tells us who it's for. The reason that's important is when we send this sales order to the warehouse, we need to know who it came from so we can return it back to their shelf. The way our process works is we get a sales order, they print it, they get the PO from the customer, they print it, send it back to the warehouse, and the warehouse pulls what they can and they allocate what they have in stock. Then they turn it back into the sales rep, the paperwork showing what's not able to be allocated that needs to be ordered, and the sales rep turns it into purchasing to order, while the rest of the order goes through our alterations department and gets processed. What he's having to do right now is open up the sales order and go to the audit trail, find out who it is, or the customer service rep might put their name at the top or something like that. But it's pretty important that we have the customer service rep's name, which is right here up on there. So if there's any way that we can get this name right here, this user created, added to the sales order, that would be great. That would help us out a lot.